Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I'm so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Today's class is a deep stretch practice. Now, I highly recommend a block or a block-like object, a single step stool, or a couple of books that you've wrapped together with a string or a yoga strap to keep them from sliding around. Now, while you go and grab your prop, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. It really helps me out. And leave me a comment telling me what your favorite pose from this practice was. Now, roll out your mat and let's hop into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Sending that right foot back. Now we're going to begin in our mountain pose, our Tadasana. We'll bring our ankles underneath of our knees, underneath of our hips. We'll pick up the toes, spread them out nice and wide and set them back down. Lift the shoulders up to the ears, work them back and down the spine, and we'll rotate these shoulders back by pulling the pinky fingers forward. Now stacking the top of the head over the spine, perhaps gently pulling the chin a little closer towards the chest. As we close the eyes and take a little bit of time to notice the space that you're in. Notice how it makes you feel. Notice the energies in the room around you and the energies within your body today. We'll take a nice big breath in, fully filling the lungs. And with our exhale, we'll let go of any of those distractions, any of our thoughts about our space, any of the thoughts about our day or how the rest of our day is going to go. We'll let it all go. And we'll repeat this a few times. Big breath in through the nose. And an even bigger breath back out as we bring ourselves to this moment. As we let go of anything that we do not need right now. As we take this time to allow ourselves to slow down and take some time solely for ourselves. Help us feel good, both physically and emotionally, as we make our way to a more peaceful, calm state. Now with our next in breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead, reaching the fingers to the ceiling. We might take the eyes a little bit higher or even all the way up to the hands. Hold here for a few more breaths. And with our next exhale, we'll sweep the arms out to the sides as we bow forward to our forward fold. Dropping the arms down towards the floor, we'll nod the head yes. And shake the head no. Letting the upper body be heavy towards the floor. Now, that block beside us, if our hands don't quite comfortably reach the floor, we'll grab for whatever our prop is today. so that we can stay in this pose a little bit longer and with a little more comfort through the body. And we'll bring our attention back to that breath. With our inhale, finding a lengthening from the hips forward to the top of the head. And with our exhale, we'll hinge from the hips and soften the upper body into that space. Now, if you need to add a little more bend to the knees, please do so. And with our next in-breath, we'll find a halfway lift, flattening the back towards our tabletop as we reach forward with the top of the head. We'll pause here, very light weight in the hands. As we start to engage through the core and start to build strength through the back. Exhale, we'll hinge forward again. Dropping the very top of the head down to the floor, we'll grab for opposite elbows. Now, it may be helpful to heel toe the feet out once or twice, as we're going to find a sway side to side, and that wider stance may help with the balance. We'll find a little sway side to side with the upper body. Good. Dropping the hands back down as you come to that neutral spine. With our inhale, halfway lift. Light weight in the hands, engage through the core. And our exhale will fold again. Now add as much bend to the knees as you need. We'll grab for our block and maybe put it on the tallest side so we can press into the block with our right hand. With our inhale, we'll take the left arm up to the ceiling as we find a twist. Now we're going to really press down with our left heel to help us with that twist of the low spine as we reach up tall with the left hand. Now continue to press through the right hand to either the floor or your prop. So we're not squishing shoulder towards ear of that right side. We're long from the fingers all the way up towards the ceiling. Good. Exhale, we'll move back through center. Forward fold. Nod the head yes. And shake the head no. And our other side, we'll bring our left hand to our prop. With an inhale, take the right arm up and we'll press down through that right leg to help us open up the chest towards our right side. Strong through the left hand, so we're long across the collarbones. Exhale back through center to our forward fold. This time maybe pedaling out the legs or wiggling out the hips. Good. We're going to step the left foot towards the top of our mat. As we pick up the right, we'll send it back behind and step the right foot down. Now drop your right knee to the mat. Untuck the toes, and with an inhale, we'll reach the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, we'll circle the arms down towards the floor. Now we can either put the hands onto our prop, onto our block, or onto the ground. We'll pause here and press the hips forward. Now press down through that front left foot. We'll extend our left leg towards straight as we start walking the hands in towards our back knee. Now hinging from the waist here, halfway splits. Again, we're going to pause here. So we always have a block or something beside us that we can put our weight into to take some of the weight out of our knees. Or we can soften all the way down to that right leg. Good, we'll shift forward again, back to that low lunge. And we'll grab for our prop, set it beside our left foot, and the hand goes on top. With an inhale, we'll reach the left arm to the ceiling. And again, finding a twist. Now we can stay exactly where we are, or we can tuck our back toes under and extend our right leg towards straight. Exhale, we'll soften the left arm back around towards the floor so our chest is over our left leg. Now, if our right knee is dropped, we'll lift up from here to our high lunge. And then we're going to probably turn our block onto a taller side as we lift the chest up. Crescent lunge. And we're going to turn the chest towards our left side so that we can drop our right heel down. Exhale, we'll bring either the elbow of our left arm to our knee and our right arm up and over the body. Or we can bring our left hand to our block and our right arm straight up over the shoulder. Or we can move the block out completely and place our left hand down on the floor. But again, we're going to stay here for a few breaths, for a few moments. Exhale, we'll soften our right arm back around, and we're going to frame out our top foot. Drop the right knee down to the floor, and we can bring the hands to the inside of our left. We'll circle the left back and around and give a wiggle and out. Good. We'll pick up our right leg and bring it up towards the top of the mat. And we'll press down through that right foot to lift the upper body up, reaching tall to the ceiling as we press the hips forward. Exhale, we'll soften the chest and drop the hands either to the floor or to our block as we continue to press the hips forward. We'll press down through our right foot as we start walking the hands in to our left knee for our halfway splits. Reach long through the top of the head, and with our exhale, we'll hinge forward towards that right leg. Now we can stay here, we can use some blocks, or we can soften all the way to sit on our left leg. We'll shift our way forward again for that low lunge and bring our block beside our foot. Press the left hand into the block, and we'll take the right arm up and over as we reach the right arm to the ceiling. Now we have that option to keep the left knee down on the floor, or we can pick up the left knee by tucking the toes under. Exhale, we'll soften the chest down towards our front leg. Now, moving the block around maybe to a higher side. With an inhale, we'll lift the chest. Now, if that back knee is down, we'll pick it up. And then we'll rotate open to our left side so that we can fully plant our back left foot. With our exhale hinging from the waist, we can either bring the left elbow to our right knee and reach the left hand up and over. We can drop the hand down to our block and reach the left hand straight up over top. Or we can drop the right hand all the way down to the floor. Exhale, we'll soften our left arm around as we pivot and drop the left knee down. Pick up the right and walk it around. We'll move to our tabletop, planting the hands underneath of the shoulders, knees underneath of the hips. And we'll do some cat-cows. With an in-breath, we'll press the chest forward between the hands as we lift the eyes and the tailbone. Exhale, we'll arch up through the mid-back as chin comes to chest and tailbone curls under. And we'll move back and forth with the breath. And with our next exhale, we'll curl the tailbone back towards the heels. And we can either keep the legs together underneath the hips or hips distance apart, or we can walk the knees out a little further for a wide-legged child's pose. We'll press down through the hands as we find that block again. Place the block on your left side. With an inhale, we'll reach both arms to the ceiling. Now, if sitting on your heels like this is very uncomfortable in your body, you can change positions so that you're sitting in a more comfortable seat, whether that's crisscross, applesauce, or a lotus pose, or anything in between. We'll circle those both arms up to the ceiling and move to our side stretch. Drop your left hand down and we'll reach the right arm over to our left side. Now we're still pressing down through the right hips. We're not lifting and rotating. We're trying to get a long stretch from our left hip all the way out through the fingertips. Inhale, slowly lift up through center. Take a full breath in and out as we move the block over to our other side. Inhale, both arms up to the ceiling. Side stretch on this side. We'll drop the right hand down to our block or to the floor and reach the left arm up and over. Press down through the left hip so that we're really reaching with the left hand. Inhale, make your way back through center again. Taking another full breath in and back out. We'll walk the hands out in front of the shoulders, moving through our tabletop to an extended tabletop, and then tuck the toes under. Press the hips up and back behind down dog. Now again, we'll pause here. You can find some wiggling out by pedaling the legs or swiveling the hips. And if you have a second block or a second prop, you can always place your hands onto those props instead of having them down on the floor. You may find more comfort in that version. We'll start making our way to our hands. We can either walk our way there, we can hop our way there, we can float our way there, or if it's easier, you can walk the hands back towards the feet. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat back. Exhale, fold. We'll drop the very top of the head down to the floor and drop the arms straight down from the shoulders. Now starting at the very base of the tailbone, down at the hips, we'll roll one vertebrae up past the next as we slowly ragdoll, as we slowly roll up the spine. And we'll do a few shoulder circles, shoulder rolls at the top. Good. With an inhale, we'll reach the arms up to the ceiling. And we'll slowly lower the hands out to our sides. And then we'll bring them around behind the body. We'll interlock the fingers or grab for opposite elbows. And we'll press the hands down to the floor or the forearms down to the floor, pulling these shoulders back so the shoulder blades, the scapulas, come in to kiss at the spine. Now this may be enough of a chest opener for you, and that's great. We'll pause here. Or we can add a slight back bend by pulling the hands a little bit further down towards the floor. And we'll lift the chest and the eyes up. We'll hold here for a couple of breaths. And we'll slowly start to bring the spine back to a neutral. Roll the shoulders forward and release the hands out. We'll heel toe the feet towards outer edges of the mat or until the feet are about twice hips distance. I'll take the arms out to our T and we'll find some happy elephants, twisting us open one direction and then the other. And we always can bring the hands around to gently tap beside our hips as they wrap around the body. We'll slowly let the arms run out of momentum as we make our way back to that Tadasana. Bring your hands to heart center. And we'll drop the shoulders a little further away from the ears. We'll find that nice tall posture, reaching up at the top of the head And stacking the head over the neck, over the shoulders, over the hips. We'll close the eyes and take another couple of breaths here. Fully releasing the breath out before starting fresh with a new breath in. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.